Well, as promised, more from Game 1 between the T-Wolves and the Nuggets. Anthony Edwards and company. Maybe the one team that nobody wanted to face in the second round. That included Nikola Jokic and the defending champs. Of course, Chris Finch, head coach for Minnesota. Pretty good spirits after having surgery on his right knee. He was on the bench, but he was not fully in coaching capacity. But Anthony Edwards is in full Ant-Man capacity. Look how he is getting off to start this game. Minnesota went on an 18-4 run to begin the first quarter. About 5 minutes to play, Joker over Rudy Gobert. Nuggets still down 12. And then here, Michael Porter Jr. pulls up for 3. Nuggets trying to make a run right before the end of the quarter. Reggie Jackson with the steal. Porter to finish with the dunk. Nuggets cut the lead to 3. It's a 4-point game now. Jackson, stepping it back, all the way back. Nuggets had a 2-point lead after the first quarter. Second quarter, Karl-Anthony Towns, Aaron Gordon. They didn't like where either person was standing. Little physical confrontation there. Gordon comes up with the steal. And then over to Chris Brown for the flush. Nuggets with the 3-point advantage. We keep it in the second quarter. Ant-Man with the steal out front. He had 25 in the first half. Minnesota's up 1. 50 seconds to go before the break. Gobert kicks it out to Towns for a 3. Tie game at 40 all. It was clear the Nuggets had their hands full with these feisty bunch of T-Wolves, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray to Aaron Gordon. And then Jokic going to get that every time. He had 15 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds in the first half. The Nuggets were up 4, but low scoring, 44-40. Third quarter, Edwards with the block at 1 end on Porter. Jaden McDaniels the rebound to Towns and 1. Minnesota up by 2. And then here, Murray. Come on. Whew. Can I see that one more time? I mean, he must like jelly on his roll because that was too sweet. Nuggets up 3. We got 5:30 to go. Mike Conley gets the steal. Naz Reid, where you at? Down the middle, big fella. That ties the game at 62. And then Ant-Man. Cooking up dudes on high. That turnaround at the free throw line. They're up 1. $1:20 to play here in the quarter. Edwards gets a layup and gets called for a technical. He's not quite sure why, but nonetheless, it's a T. Fourth quarter we go. We're tied at 73. Naz Reid, huge off the bench for Minnesota in this game. At the other end, Murray down 3 and 1. That ties the game at 80. Under 8 to play. Edwards, crossing over Aaron Gordon and then pulling up for the jumper. Look, people have been making comparisons to Michael Jordan. I'm not going to do that, but I can understand why you would make such comparisons. The way this young man plays and the confidence that he brings to the court each and every game. We're tied at 84. Naz Reid. He's banking in threes? That's what we doing, Naz? Yes. And then off the putback, Naz Reid. Give that man player of the game status because he was huge. Well, maybe not quite player of the game, but he's making threes all over the spot. Come on. Wolves up 6. Jokic working over Gobert. Look at that. Left hand off the glass. That is too funky. Nuggets, though, down 4. And then this is another good sign that's going well for Minnesota. Gobert, a one-hand set shot like it's 1952, and he banks it in. They shot 71% as a team in the second half of Minnesota. Anthony Edwards was so big. He had 43 points. That's a playoff career high. And then here, off the Porter jumper, you give it to Edwards. You got 30 seconds to go. They're down 5. They don't foul, and they don't guard him either. T-Wolves come into Denver. They still gain 1 from the champs. 106-99. New on SportsCenter, Anthony Edwards, joined by Mike Conley Jr.
Just the whole team, we trust each other. It doesn't matter down the stretch who takes the shot. Just find an open guy. Everybody put the work in, so, and I trust my teammates, so for sure I can't wait to pass it to them if they're open.
You want me to answer that too?
Yeah.
I think our organization's been good. Getting to a few sets that we really like. stuff that is easy for Ant to read, and you know, he makes plays late game, and we, as a supporting cast, got to be around him and help him out. And he's done a good job of finding us late games and giving us confidence.
Ant Finch has talked about how important starts are to the game. You come on, you got 13 points in the first couple minutes of this game. What did you have right away out of the jump here?
I just felt good. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. I didn't have anything, and my teammates found me on some easy layups. You know, I've never got that many easy buckets, so that was pretty fun.
And how important is that mentality of yours before this game, before facing the champions, the actual champions? So how important is that mentality for you and for the team? How do you take that mentality to them?
I mean, I lost to these guys last year, you know, and they are the defending champs. They're a hard team to beat. Great team. They got great players. They got the best player in the league with Nikola Jokic. To me, they got the best closer with Jamal Murray, the best three-point shooter with Michael Porter Jr. So it's tough to beat this team. It's not just my mentality; it's the team mentality. We come in and you know we know it's going to be a war, and you know we just play within the game and just stay within the game. They make runs. We know we got to make our runs and just fight, man. It's going to be a fight.
Mike, Nikhil said in the locker room the other day that you wait to score. And was the second half one of those occasions where you knew you had to come out and be a scorer and be much more aggressive?
Yeah, no, Ant was shooting all the balls in the first half. So it was hard to get a rhythm. No, but you know, you just gotta play with the flow of the game. You know, he had it going, got us out to an early lead, and for me, you know, I'm comfortable, you know, waiting until the second half, and I've done that a lot throughout my career. I've done that a lot this season. You know, the guys trust me to do that and be aggressive. They all tell me to shoot more and look for my shot more, and tonight was one of those nights.
But Ant, you're also one of those people, everybody's saying you're trusting your teammates. When your teammates were as cold as almost everybody was in the first half, does that make it harder when you know you're on?
Make what hard?
Make it harder to get off the ball?
No. No, not at all. I mean, these guys going to make shots. I mean, everybody going to miss shots. I'm going to miss shots. I'm not going to make all my shots. I don't care how many shots they miss. If they're open, I'm going to pass it every single time. I see the work that they put in, you know. So, yeah, I don't care how many shots you take, make, or miss. I'm going to throw it to you if you're open.
And the team challenge is obvious. You're coming into the opposing players' building and then the defending champs. Is there any part of the individual challenge that speaks to you, that gets you excited? I mean, you're going up against a team that has the guy considered the best player in the league, reigning Finals MVP, could win a third MVP this year. But you have something to say for how you can play. I mean, does that excite you at all?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Going against the best player in the world is always fun. Going against the best team in the world is always fun. And like I said, man, they're well coached. They're disciplined. They're not going to beat themselves. And I feel like our coaching staff did a great job of game planning throughout the 3-4 days that we had, and our guys came out and competed tonight. So it's not about just me personally. It's about my team. You know, they give me confidence also. I mean, seeing in the third quarter, I didn't do anything. I was just out there running up and down. And Mike and Kat came out big for us, so that gave me confidence, you know, to try to find myself.
Our NBA analyst, Chiney Ogwumike, with us now. Chiney, Anthony Edwards made an absolute statement in Game 1. When you watch him, what is it about him that makes him so great?
First of all, Lissa, hello, playoffs. We have arrived. And overall in the series, styles make fights. And these two teams have very similar styles. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they were built, they were designed to rival the Denver Nuggets. And it shows with their size, with their versatility, and most importantly, with their star power. Anthony Edwards is becoming a bona fide superstar right before our eyes. Out of all the stars, he set the tone. He came out running and gunning with 25 points in the first half. Now, the most important skill, though, that a player can have, it's not shooting, it's not passing, it's not really defending. It is closing games at the professional ranks. And every time they needed an answer, he hit a dagger from everywhere. He had 18 paint points with exclamation marks. You know, his mid-range was just straight up nasty. He knocked down big-time threes. Are you not entertained? This is so much fun, and we are seeing a superstar in the making.
Yeah, he's gaining a lot of fans right now as well. Let's talk about the defending champions. The Nuggets didn't lead for much of the series against the Lakers despite beating them in 5 games, but now they dropped this first one at home. What are your concerns with Denver after tonight?
Look, Denver, they cannot afford in this series to play from behind. They cannot afford to have slow starts because Minnesota, they can beat you 2 ways. They can beat you with offense. The T-Wolves, they shot 71% in the second half of this game. And on defense, they're also the best in class in the NBA with the likely defensive player of the year with Rudy Gobert. The T-Wolves, they will turn the Nuggets' misses and turnovers into instant offense. And I think Nikola Jokic actually learned this in a pretty painful way. He had 7 out of his team's 12 overall turnovers. That's very uncharacteristic. Largely it was Rudy Gobert who's baiting some of those hallmark passes that, Jokic throws to Aaron Gordon in the dunker spot. Ant was swiping shots on the backboard with his left hand. And also, this is something very important to watch. Jamal Murray had an uncharacteristic slow start. I think only 0, not even only. He had 0 points in the first half. That will be something to follow very closely and possibly dictate this series.
Yeah, and he was 0 for 4 on uncontested shots, to your point, in that first half. So looking ahead to Game 2, how do the Nuggets tie this series?
You know what? It's going to be interesting because we have so much star power in this series, but I really do believe that this will come down to the supporting cast in some ways, because those guys, they will help you win pivotal games, and they will help you swing runs. And Minnesota's supporting cast outplayed Denver's. Naz Reid, the 6th man of the year, he had 11 points in the 4th quarter. Mike Conley was slicing and dicing the defense for 10 assists. We saw a well-rounded performance from Minnie, and the Nuggets, it seemed like for the first time in a very long time, they were kind of caught on their heels. The magic of the Denver Nuggets is that, Nikola Jokic can get guys like Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon really great looks. Those looks, I'm wearing my glasses. Like, they might need some glasses next round because those looks were not as clear. And so I think getting that supporting cast involved will have to be a must, especially given Jamal Murray probably not playing at 100%.